Alright, so the co-main event for tomorrow is going to be Michael Chiesa versus RDA, which I think was a pretty exciting matchup. Michael Chiesa, let's start with this guy. He's 32 years old, he stands at 6'1", RDA is 35, which is probably third in the backside of his career, but he's still a dangerous fighter. He stands at 5'9", and these guys are both southpaws actually. Michael Chiesa has 11 wins by submissions, 5 by decisions. That's a total of 16 wins. He has 1 TKO loss with 3 submissions. That equals to 4 losses. So he's 16-4 in his mixed martial arts career. RDA, on the other hand, he's had a long career. He's been through some wars. He has 5 wins by TKO, 10 by submissions, and 14 by decisions. That is equal to 29 wins, 3 TKO losses, and 9 decision losses. So he's 29-12. Alright, so I think it's interesting to say that Chiesa is 3 in his last 5 and 7 in his last 10. Some notable wins he has over Diego Sanchez and Conde, which was his last 2 victories. And you could argue Sanchez and Conde are at the end of their career, which is fine because they're still dangerous fighters. Well, one thing that surprised me actually in the Conde fight is Conde should have kept that fight standing, but instead he shot, which I think was not a smart move against a wrestler like Michael Chiesa. Another few notable wins: he has a victory over Jim Miller and Al Iaquinta, but those were like ages ago. So yeah. Notable losses that Michael Chiesa has had is from George Masvidal by a Darce choke, which I find kind of interesting. He got KO'd by Joe Lozon, and as we all remember, the Kevin Lee incident, controversial, but I still think Chiesa would have tapped because Lee was close to it. And he also got submitted by Pettis, so that's kind of something to take into consideration for fighting RDA, because RDA has pretty legit jiu-jitsu if you ask me. Yeah, RDA has 45% striking accuracy. Meanwhile, Michael Chiesa has 41%. RDA's strike defense is 62%. Meanwhile, Chiesa is 51%. Chiesa's striking isn't that good, you could say. He has no TKO losses, so we all know Michael Chiesa is going to shoot. He doesn't want to stand with RDA. So expect this fight to be a wrestling match / jiu-jitsu grappling match. RDA's takedown accuracy is 39, meanwhile Michael's is at 48%. RDA has a good 60% takedown accuracy, defense, while Michael Chiesa has 66% takedown defense. So for sure we know Michael Chiesa is going to shoot. And it sucks to say, but RDA is at the end of his career. He's 2 in his last 5 and has won 5 of his last 10, which is not very good. But he has some notable wins, such as Robbie Lawler, Neil Magny. He beat Cowboy twice. He beat Pettis, Nate Diaz, Benson Henderson, and of course Kevin Lee. But I found interesting, we all know that RDA, he struggles with wrestlers because he's lost to Alvarez, Ferguson, Khabib, and Guido back in the day. So yeah, with all that being said, I see Michael Chiesa winning by decision. He's going to scrape out a decision. He's not going to want to stand with RDA. RDA could probably knock him out. I think he can, but I just don't see that happening. I think, like I said, he's 35 years old. He's pretty much at the end of his career. And Michael Chiesa's 3 years younger, 2 years younger, 3 years younger. And his wrestling is pretty good. He's on a roll right now, so my pick would have to be Michael Chiesa via decision. And an interesting grappling match I see coming tomorrow, folks.